First stop on the inaugural PDGA National Tour was the Golden State Classic from historic La Mirada Regional Park in La Mirada, California. Employing the new 3-day NT format, this event took place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 21st through 23rd. In the women's division, Juliana Korver took the early lead, and going into the final 9, she had a 5-stroke lead over Leslie Herndon. Leslie had the best third round and the best fourth round. In third place going into the finals was Santa Cruz's Carrie Berlager. Throughout the final 9, Juliana showed the smooth form and consistency that we've come to expect from the 4-time world champion. She was dethroned last year and looking to make a big comeback in 2003. Herndon has been a touring machine the last several years. Based out of Mobile, Alabama, she has consistently been near the top of the leaderboard. Throughout the final 9, her play was solid, but she was unable to get any closer than 5 strokes to Korver. Berlager, in her first big event, showed that she would be a force to contend with throughout the year, and she finished in a solid third place. Herndon finished second, and our champion, Juliana Korver.
It's an exciting time to be part of disc golf, and it's nice to see everybody involved. I want to thank Annabelle for all their hard work, and see everybody on the next stop.
Going into the final 9, the men have a very tight race going. Stevie Rico sits on top, the 24-year-old native of California. He's from Silmar, played at La Mirada many times, comes into the finals at 32 under. His drive on the first hole is a little short and to the right. Ken Jarvis comes in second place, 31 under, just 1 stroke behind Rico. He has shown this weekend that he has all the tools. Seems to get a little nervous at times, though. Nerves, of course, never a problem for the 11-time world champion, Ken Climo from Florida. And that's how you make that shot. Ron Russell, former world champion, based out of Florida these days, and his shot a little bit fast, but it settles down well within birdie range. Jarvis, the birdie attempt, just a little bit short. He'll settle for par. Rico, hits the top. He will settle for par. Birdies for Climo and Russell on the first hole. And hole number 2, one of several 800-foot plus holes that we'll be seeing in this final. This one up to the top of one ridge, down, and the basket sits on top of the next ridge. Russell and Climo took similar lines, both wind up on the side hill. Rico, with that unbelievable arm speed's got good angle on it, makes it up to the top of the first ridge and has enough speed to get some extra footage down the backside. Now, he'll be in good position to take a run at a 3 on this hole. Jarvis, that smooth and deceptive power. One of the few people in the game who might actually have more arm speed than Rico. He's up the top of the hill, doesn't quite have the angle to get down to the base. Second shot for Russell. He goes to the air shot and stays clear of the trees. He'll leave himself about 80 feet coming up the hill. Climo, a little higher than he normally plays, and it fades out into the trees. He'll have about 100 feet coming straight up. Jarvis looking to go from ridge top to ridge top, and that's actually quite a bit short. He'll have to come up the hill with his third shot. Rico goes to the roller. That is strong. It's actually behind the basket. Curls around and nestles on the hillside, about 30 feet down from the basket. Climo's third shot. He'll just take the easy layup. Jarvis gives it a little bit of a run. Russell, a little bit of a run, but mostly safe. And Rico for birdie. Got it. A 3 for Steve Rico on hole number 2. 4s for everyone else. Rico stretches his lead to 2 over Jarvis. Hole number 3 now. Strong drive for Rico. But he's going to fall a little bit short and left. Climo with that low release, just about waist high. The shot nice and low. Plays a little bit of a skip at the end, and he leaves himself inside 20 feet. Russell on just about the same line. Little more hyzer on this one. It's going to get a little bigger skip, but that's still within range. Jarvis goes over the top with the big hyzer. Flirts with the trees, catches a little bit of branch, and comes up a little bit short.
You missed me.
Birdie opportunities now. Rico just wide. Jarvis connects. A birdie for Ken Jarvis. Birdie for Climo. Oh, and Russell with the best drive of the group is off the tray. Now to hole number 4, Climo at 29 under, 2 behind Jarvis, 3 behind Rico. Very birdieable hole for these guys. Climo a little bit wide on that one. Jarvis gets it turned over a little bit. A long glide. Not going to come back. That's going to leave him 60 to 70 feet. Rico now with a good opportunity to add one to his lead. That flips up. Stays straight. And he's going to be just past pin high, about 45 feet. Russell starts it off left, brings it in right at the pole. Beautiful drive for Ron Russell. Don't think he's going to miss that one. Jarvis now. Just a little bit low. Climo off the tray. Looks like maybe he saw someone moving there. Rico would have liked that one. But Ron Russell will pick up the lone birdie on the hole, and he will tee off first on hole number 5. This is a blind drive over the hill with lots of trees on the backside to the right. Ron looking for a little help, trying to figure out where that one went. Ken plays it a little tight. It turns over, and he's going to have a grove of trees to contend with.
Coming.
Jarvis, who just makes it look so easy and so smooth, but that turns over a little bit early as well.
Coming.
Rico keeps it up on top, trying to hang on. And he's on the hillside there, might have himself a decent lie. Climo goes to the air shot. That one turned over. Very unusual follow through for Ken here. It's like maybe he didn't get the grip he was looking for on the ground there. Rico goes to the roller through the trees, following the hillside, and actually goes a little low and past the basket. Russell, unable to find a gap, hits the early wood. Jarvis with an opportunity to pick up a stroke here on Rico, possibly. Just about hits the pin, but continues up the hill another 60 feet. Third shot for Russell. Easy little layup for him. Climo from over the fence manages to get it up close. Now Jarvis goes for it from down the hill. That was a bold shot. 4s around the horn for everybody on hole number 5. Hole number 6. Another great roller opportunity with the grass at La Mirada, always green and short. Lots of mature trees. And Ron able to keep himself on the fringe of the fairway. Climo goes to the roller. Might have a little too much angle. That is not going to stand up. He's going to be trapped on the left side of the fairway inside that grove of trees. Jarvis sitting at 30 under, just one stroke behind Rico, goes over the top, and that has way too much hyzer on it. He's going to be in the left side in the trees over by Climo. Rico elects to go down the middle, low and hard. Oh, and that skip is going to send him off to the left side as well. He comes back with the sidearm. Turns over a little early. Just about got himself out in the open, though. Very tough three for any of these guys. Jarvis, ooh, hits a little bush. That wasn't going to stand up anyway, but that bush kicks him well over to the left, still inside the grove of trees. Climo goes for the tighter alley, and the cut roller, it is going to stand up. That's going to turn over. He actually gets himself out into the open. Now Russell, after that great drive. Low line drive approach. Yeah, skips just past the basket. He'll have that for a three. Climo's third shot. Gives it a little bit of a run. Rico for three. Keeps it safe. Jarvis. A little bit low, so it'll be fours around the horn on hole number 6. Hole number 7. Yet another roller hole. Lots of big trees, and Russell finds one. A root kicks him up into the air 10 feet. Climo goes wide with a lot of angle. Needs that to turn over. Well, it does, but a little late, and that was a little too wide off the hand. Jarvis. Oh, hits a tree in the air with the roller. Tough break for Jarvis. Rico, very strong. Needs to find its way through, but doesn't. He hits a tree also. Second shot now for Jarvis from a tough position, and that's got too much angle on it. Finds a root, kicks up in the air, and he's going to be on the hillside, basically past the basket and off to the left. Tough life for Rico with the sidearm. Finds a hole, gets a skip, just about hits the pole. Great out for Rico. That's going to save par for him. Now Russell. Low, little bit of hyzer, plays the skip, and he just about hits the pin too. Climo, third shot. Gives it a little bit of a run. Par save now for Jarvis. Off the top. That's going to cost him a stroke. Climo takes the three. And Jarvis actually misses his bogey attempt, takes a 5, loses 2 strokes, and he will now be tied with Climo. They're both at 27 under. Rico sitting comfortably at 30 under. Russell gets down the hill and has a little too much angle. That's actually just about rolling directly away from the basket at this point. And he's going to have a tough lie at the base of that tree. Climo now in a tie for second place with Ken Jarvis. Puts one down the middle. Rico pulls out the sidearm roller off the tee. Turns it over a little bit soon, but the fence saves him. And being that far left on this fairway will actually take a lot of trees out of play on his second shot. Jarvis, good looking shot down the middle, but finds a tree. Another tough break for him. And that is going to go just out of bounds. Jarvis now in danger of second place, slipping away as Rico puts his second shot right up by the basket. Big shot for Steve to maintain that lead with just a couple holes left to go. Russell off that tough lie, wants that to come down off the hillside. Not going to happen this time. Climo from the fence, wide open shot. got good touch, bringing it in. A little bit short, but very makeable. This is Russell's third shot. Lays it up nicely. Jarvis is going to take his meter here, and he's got a long putt. He's going to need this just to stay close to Climo for second place. This is for bogey after going out of bounds. Looks good. Oh, just a little low. That's going to be back-to-back double bogeys for Jarvis. He now falls into third place as Rico pars. Climo pars. He's now at 27 under. Jarvis has fallen to 25. Rico looking strong at 30 as we go into hole number 9. Once again, up the top of a hill and back down into the valley. Climo gets up on top and is going to have a nice flat spot to throw from. Rico with a 3-stroke lead just needs to cruise home to seal this victory. He goes to the air shot, just shy of the top of the hill. He'll be fine from there. Russell with nothing to lose decides to go to the air. Got a good rip on that one. Turned it over just about perfectly. It nestles back in just on the top of the hill. And Jarvis. You can hear the sound of that disc as it goes by, and he's not going to be too happy with that. Got it up there, but found a little wood. He may have a tough second shot coming out of there. Russell from just short of the hilltop. Low. A little bit turned over, and not quite enough time to come back. Jarvis with a strong rip comes out a little bit early. Now he'll have a putt from there. And Rico, no need to mess around. Ooh, but that pulls out a little bit early. It's heading towards the tennis courts. He does not need to be flirting with OB at this point with things otherwise well in hand. Fortunately, that hit the fence low enough. Keeps him in bounds. Climo with the hyzer wants it up a little bit. Gets a big hop. He'll be down in that ditch putting for his 3. But Steve Rico is on his victory lap here. He'll be the answer to a trivia question. The first man to ever win a National Tour event on the PDGA Tour. Good looking third shot. Nothing to worry about there. Russell for 3. A little extra body English. Not quite enough to get it off the ground. Climo for par. Yes! Very solid and impressive finish for Ken Climo. He will take second this weekend. And Jarvis finishes with the 3 as well. Solid play at the end, but back-to-back double bogeys will drop him down into third. Still, nice showing for Jarvis, but Stevie Rico is our champion. And a happy moment for him. Ron Russell with that no-look Anheuser putt. He'll finish in 4th this week. Happy times for Steve Rico and his entourage. Very solid play, driving, putting.
So good, baby.
Course management, it does feel so good. Congratulations to Stevie Rico.
I'd like to take a moment to introduce Pat Govang, the commissioner of the PDGA, who'd like to say a few things.
Thanks, Tim. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who came out and played in the event and also spectated today. For the spectators, we hope it was enjoyable. First of all, I'd like to thank SoCal Disc Golf and Tim and Rhett and the whole staff here who pulled off a great event all weekend.
Started out getting a couple of short deuces, made some medium length putts to get my confidence up, and the driver was working well. Nice and calm, no wind out here, which is unusual for Fountain Hills, so took advantage of it as best I could. Everybody was positive, mojo going, it was a good time out here. Even if you're having a bad day on the course, it's still fun. I mean, you're out there having exercise in a beautiful setting like this, playing with some friends, trying your best all day long. Doesn't always go your way, but I'd rather be here than in a factory or behind a desk somewhere, so I'm not going to complain.
The National Tour moved on to the Phoenix area for stop number 2, the Memorial. March 7th, 8th, and 9th at beautiful Fountain Hills Park and Vista del Camino Park. The 11-time world champion Ken Climo was on hand. He was a little off on this putt and a little off all weekend. He would finish 6th. But now the final 9 from Vista del Camino Park. Ladies first. And first on the tee, our leader at 4 over par, 4-time world champion Juliana Korver. She has a 10-stroke lead over second place. In second place at 14 over par, the women's world distance record holder Ruth Steele. The UK star now making her home in San Francisco. And in third place, at 18 over par, the current world champion Des Redding from Iowa. Her drive on the 600-foot first hole flirted with out of bounds, but came back safely. On the first 4 holes, Des made up 4 strokes on Ruth and tied for second, but she needed that putt to save a double bogey 5 on the 5th hole. Juliana made that for her par, and Ruth made that for her par to increase her lead to 2 over Des. On to hole number 7, where Juliana stayed away from the water with a beautiful drive that hyzered back in to about 25 feet. Ruth with the big crush. A little straighter line, and she would leave herself that for a birdie. Des went out over the water with the flex shot. Beautiful glide to the crowd's delight. And she would leave herself that for her birdie attempt. Ruth was just in and out of the basket. The shadows were getting long, but Juliana was still picture perfect to bag the birdie. And Des made her birdie to stay within arm's length of Ruth. As we watch the drives on hole number 9, Ruth Steele made a statement this year. She will be a contender. Des Redding took a little time off recently for educational programs. She'll finish in 3rd. But Juliana Korver was in mid-season form this weekend, and she will take the title. Ruth Steele in 2nd, Des Redding in 3rd. Barry Schultz enters the final 9 at 34 under par, an 8-stroke lead on second place. He shot an incredible 15 under on the 22-hole opening round and staked himself to a 5-stroke lead. Kevin McCoy, currently in second place, playing with a little bit of a back injury. Gets his roller out there well away from the OB, lurking on the right side of the fairway. He's currently at 26 under. At 25 under par, Brian McCree, the touring machine from North Carolina. He goes to the Sky Roller. That one is heading for OB, but curls up in time. Also at 25 under, Californian Stevie Rico. that incredible snap. And that one needs to hold on. It's going to go out of bounds and not come back. He'll take a penalty stroke. McCree's second shot is long enough, but a little bit wide. He's going to leave himself almost 55 feet. McCoy sends his out. It flips over out of bounds, and that is not coming back. He's got to be very disappointed with that start. From OB, this is Rico now, his third shot. And second shot for Schultz, who will be enjoying the victory lap here. Now McCoy coming back in from out of bounds. He likes it. And it stays. Kevin McCoy saves bogey. What a great shot. Now Rico to save bogey. That's a little bit high. He'll take a double bogey 5 to start. Meanwhile, McCree from 55 feet drains it to save par. And an easy little par for Barry. McCree and McCoy now tied for second place as we move on to hole number 2. Barry with the strong turnover shot catches a little bit of branch but leaves himself in good position. McCree out over the water, flirts with the tree wide, leaves himself uphill about 30 feet from the basket. McCoy goes high, turns over, and not going to come back. He'll have a long downhill putt. Rico buries it into the hillside. Nice drive for Stevie. McCree uphill bangs another one. That'll put him to 26 under. McCoy unable to match off the rim. Barry a little bit short. And Rico converts. He'll go to 24 under. Now McCree, who has the hot hand, turns this over a little bit. Oh, and he's out of bounds in the culvert. Stevie stays well away from the culvert, but that's heading for the water. Skips and just hangs on. Barry now with the low line drive throw that he is so well known for, and he just about pins it. It's hard to stay with Barry when he's throwing shots like that. McCoy plays a tight hyzer, heading for the tree. Sneaks underneath. He'll have another birdie opportunity there. Rico will take his meter from out of bounds and unable to catch any metal. McCoy, just a little bit low again, will settle for par once again. McCree makes his putt. After going OB, he'll take a bogey there. Hole number 4, Barry takes the tight route down the gut. Rico goes high and wide.
Go, T-Bird!
Well, he'll be liking that. McCoy plays out over the water, swings it back in, but hits a tree and sticks OB. McCree goes with the wide hyzer. Playing very strong right now, and that'll give him probably about 60 feet. We've got a tight race going for second place, and it's not going to help McCoy's cause to have to take the OB stroke. Takes a look at the route out over the water. Not a lot of room for a backswing here. He's going to go to the hyzer punch. And that looks pretty nice. It nestles right by the pole. McCree for deuce. Off the rim, but it catches an edge, and it's going to roll past 40 feet. Stevie for deuce. He could use one. Not quite. Deuce attempt for Barry. Just off the top. Now McCree to save par. Bangs it again. His putter is on fire. On now to hole number 5. We catch action on the approach shots. That was McCree. Here's Rico. McCoy gives it a run. Barry from on his knees. And he hits the comebacker, but McCree will bogey there. As we go into hole number 6, we have a three-way tie for second place, all at 24 under. Nice shot by Stevie after flirting with the water. McCree from almost 200 feet. Nice line. Just off the top. Let's look at that again. His line was just about perfect. He was just a hair high. He and Barry will actually take bogeys here. McCoy lays up for his par. And Barry goes a little bit wide. There's Tournament Director Dan Ginnelly along with Dave Nesbitt and Teo Posey of the PDGA board as we move now to hole number 7. Stevie with the big crush and a long skip. He's looking to get on the board with a birdie. McCoy yanks that. He's going to wind up wide and deep. Barry goes with the line drive. Got a little bit of angle on that and skips a little wide. McCree starts his out nice and wide. That's going to come in just about perfect. So Brian McCree is having himself a heck of a round. McCoy trying to keep pace, can't quite get there. Barry hits the birdie. Rico for birdie. Just can't buy a putt. McCoy puts in his par. Stevie saves par. But McCree comes back with the birdie, and once again we're tied at 24 under par, a three-way tie for second place. On to hole number 8. This is a short must birdie hole for these guys. Barry plays the slow turn, about 5 feet. McCree turns his over a little early. That street on the right is out of bounds. Oof, but that little hill keeps him safe. Stevie with the big high floater just outside the tree and nestles at about 11 feet. McCoy with the slow turnover. He's going to get a little bit of help off the hillside and he should have an easy deuce. McCree dead on once again. That birdie takes him to 25 under. McCoy goes to 25 under. Limping noticeably now, and Stevie's off again, but that one manages to hang on. He goes to 25 under. And as we look at the drives on number 9, this weekend has been all about Barry Schultz. From the opening first round, nobody got close to him, and he has been strong all weekend. Brian McCree, a great final 9, and he showed us a determination that we haven't seen from him in the past. Stevie Rico, always a top contender. He's got the big gun. He was a little bit off on this final 9, but he's still got a shot at second place. Kevin McCoy, playing hurt, thinks he's got enough left to try one more roller. He's going to be glad this is his last hole.
I haven't trusted it yet.
As we see our final foursome walking down the fairway, Barry Schultz looks like he's mastered the walk of champions. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of that throughout this year. Now, to guarantee at least a tie for second place, Rico. So close. Barry, just for show, gives it a run. McCoy to try to stay in the race for second. The big hyzer putt, just a little deep. That's going to give McCree a chance to take second by himself. Nails it. Very impressive second place finish for Brian McCree from North Carolina. McCoy will finish in a tie for third with Stevie Rico. And the champion of the memorial in a runaway is Barry Schultz.
After those couple 30 to 40 footers, that was awesome.
Yeah, Johnny, it's an inspiration to us all.
Discraft has designed and manufactured tournament-quality flying discs for all disc sports. Our disc golf line is second to none. From beginners to world champion pros, disc golfers everywhere rely on the quality, consistency, and durability of every Discraft Pro Golf disc. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports.
The game of disc golf is on the same general lines as ball golf. You want to complete the course in the least amount of strokes as possible. With one frisbee throw, you can only one swing and hit a big ball. It's a little different on the amount of space you have to work with left to right. Ball golf is much larger left to right space. There's a lot of wide open space, and basically if you can hit it straight in ball golf, you're gonna do well. In disc golf, the courses make you turn the disc left and right, keep it low, keep it high. There's different aspects of this game that ball golf doesn't incorporate. Ball golf is pretty much, hit a high shot, have it come down straight where you're aiming. You're pretty much on where you want to be. In disc golf, you can use the ground to skip off of. You can use the edge of the disc to roll on the ground with and create different shots. You can throw discs upside down and have them do their funky turn, hit the ground and stop. There's all sorts of different types of shots that you can play in disc golf, and ball golf I don't think has that many different options. I like the different amount of options in disc golf. The courses are about 1/3 to 1/2 scale of a ball golf course. And the hole we putt into is probably the most different about both games, where they've got a hole in the ground and putting line and speed. We've got a hole above ground where it's more of a horizontal vision. You're seeing the horizon instead of looking at the ground, so you get a little more visual distraction. And then you have line, height, and speed, a third dimension. This course has a lot of sloping terrain. It has sloping terrain by the baskets, which is tough for disc golfers, because if your disc comes in on just a little bit of a wrong angle with the wrong speed, you can hit, skip, and go 30, 40, 50, 60 feet away from the basket rather quickly if you don't have it right on. And this course also offers a lot of low ceiling shots where rollers come into play a lot more than most other courses. But it's not if you have no roller, you can play this course. You can throw air shots, but they're harder to execute all the way to the basket. I'd like to say that this Seneca Creek Park is a very beautiful park. It's one of my top 10 courses I've ever played. It sits on its own piece of property. There's nobody else out here. It's strictly disc golf, and that's one of the reasons I really like it. Plus, it's challenging.
We have 5 or 6 champions here, and national and world champions, and Ken Climo, I believe he's 11-time champion here. That's really awesome, and quite a few of the competitive. The top 40, I'd say we have about half of those folks here this year, and we have 2 of the top women here this year, and that's really exciting. We're looking forward to a tough weekend of golf.
Elaine King made this shot and several others on the weekend. After the first round, she staked herself to a 10-stroke lead and cruised to the victory. Angie Martin edged Rachel Manseer for second place. Leslie Herndon finished in 4th. Ron Russell went into the final 9 holes with a 1-stroke lead over Maryland favorite Brian Goller. Goller and Walter Haney shared the lead after the first round. After shooting top scores of 47. Going into the final 9, Brian McCree was in 3rd place, and Haney started the final 9 in 4th. Goller put on a good show for his hometown fans, but was unable to convert on several opportunities. He wound up losing 7 strokes to Russell on holes 3 through 7. And near misses like that dropped him out of contention for the title. McCree struggled at times, but he did take sole possession of 2nd place after the 4th hole. It was on hole number 5 where Russell separated himself from the field. He took a 4, while McCree and Haney took 6s. Goller took a 7, and after 5 holes, scores were pretty much set. You see here the scores after the 5th hole. It was a beautiful late April day here at Seneca Creek State Park. The trees starting to bloom, the grass nice and green. Great conditions for the first National Tour event ever at Seneca Creek.
Nice dog.
Oh, the final order of finish, it was Ron Russell, our champion, Brian McCree in 2nd, Brian Goller in 3rd, and Walter Haney in 4th. Total purse for this weekend, $12,600.
You guys have no idea the amount of time she's put into this event, and it turned out even better than usual.
Oh, thanks a lot, Angie. This place is phenomenal. I really enjoyed this course. The venue we have to play out here in golf is just phenomenal. It's all fair fairways. We're out in the woods. Nobody's messing with it. There's no walkathons going on, nothing. It's beautiful. I love golf when it's like this.
Let's take a look at the point totals in the race for National Tour bonus money. After 4 events, Ken Climo leads the men, followed closely by Ron Russell and Steve Rico. Barry Schultz and Walter Haney tied for 5th. In the women, it's Juliana Korver, Leslie Herndon, Carrie Berlager, Ruth Steele, and Elaine King with 1 victory in 5th. Disc golf combines a modern recreational phenomenon with one of the world's great games. Disc golf is a lifelong activity that promotes good health, flexibility, concentration, and mental discipline. Disc golf is a great game for players of all ages and abilities, and is a great way for you and your company to become more involved in the community. The growth and development of disc golf are driven by the PDGA. The Professional Disc Golf Association helps bring this exciting family recreation to everyone. The 6th stop on the 2003 PDGA National Tour, the Disc Golf Hall of Fame Classic at beautiful Lake Olmsted Park in Augusta, Georgia, May 30th and 31st and June 1st. This event raised over $2,300 for the new permanent installation of the Disc Golf Hall of Fame. The new National Disc Golf Center will also house the permanent headquarters of the PDGA and the Disc Golf Foundation. 12 pro women competitors showed up for this, the inaugural event of the Lake Olmsted course, which features lots of natural OB and USDGC style OB. Elaine King started the weekend by staking herself to a 7-throw lead after the first round, and she cruised on to her second National Tour victory of the year. Second place went to Leslie Herndon, while third place went to Santa Cruz's Carrie Bertelager. In the Open Pro Division, Cam Todd had the hot round on Sunday morning and went into the final 9 with a 6-throw lead. But it was a tight race for second place among Walter Haney, 2002 PDGA Rookie of the Year Dagan Owen, and California's Stevie Rico. Good gallery turned out for the finals on Sunday afternoon. It was a great weekend for Austin Texan Dagan Owen in his National Tour debut. He went into the final 9 tied with Rico, both 1 stroke ahead of Owen. Nobody was going to catch Cam Todd on this day. In the battle for second place, Owen had 5 birdies in the final 9, more than any other competitor, on this beautiful course that features mature trees and fast greens. Haney was unable to convert on a few birdies, but he did go bogey-free for the final 9, which also got tough at times when the wind picked up. Haney shot 3 under on the final 9. That was good enough to put him in a second-place tie. He and Owen wind up sharing second place. Fourth place went to Rico, but our winner this year, his first National Tour victory, 2001 World Champ Cameron Todd.
Cam Todd, the first annual Disc Golf Hall of Fame Classic.
Yeah, I just want to say keep charging. You guys are doing an awesome job. I'm here to back you all the way, and let's do more of these.
I'm new at this. This is my first time ever. I just want to thank these guys right here for putting on a great show.
I've been to all the national tours, and this was like incredible. They did a great job, so give them a big hand.
It's so exciting to see Augusta becoming the center for PDGA and for disc golf. I can hardly wait until the courses are in. The office is there. We've got museums as permanent exhibits. This is a huge, huge step forward for our sport. To have a permanent home, to have a permanent office, to have something that people can come and see, vacationing here. And it's everyone that has made it possible, especially Brian. Thank you so much.
The 2003 Discraft Great Lakes Open. Another National Tour stop. We're in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Here's our leader, Barry Schultz, on hole number 1. A nice drive down the middle of the fairway. This is a long hole that even the Open players are going to have a hard time reaching in the air. Stevie Rico is currently 1 stroke behind Barry, and he goes to the roller. Flips over a little bit. He will have that for his approach shot. Third place currently is Cam Todd, former world champion. He elects to go for the roller as well, and with a similar result. Fourth place, another former world champion, Ron Russell, originally from Michigan, one of the all-time great road warriors of the sport. And again, good distance, a little flip at the end. Now here is our women's leader, Juliana Korver. This is the first time on the National Tour that we're going to see the top 4 Open and the top 3 women together playing as a sevensome. It'll give the gallery a chance to get to see both groups simultaneously, and as you can see, we've got a good gallery this afternoon. There's our reigning world champion Des Redding electing the air shot, and third place going into our final 9 here, Leslie Herndon. Hit a little early there. Here now is the second shot for Des. She's about pin high, a little to the left on the edge of the rough there. Leslie's approach. That's got a chance. And she's right up by Des. Second shot for Juliana. She got a little over on that one. Yanks it back into the crowd. She'll be looking at that for her 3. Second shot now for Ron. Got a beautiful summer day here at Hudson Mills Park. Temperature in the mid-80s. About 30% humidity. As Cam Todd takes a run at it. That's a popular spot over there on the edge of the brush. Second shot for Stevie is safe. And Des is off the basket. She'll take a 4. Cam will take a 3. He's currently tied for third place with Ron. Stevie with his 3. And we move on to hole number 2. Barry on the box is long and flat and fading in and right on the pin. It's like he's going to have an easy birdie putt. Nursing a narrow 1-stroke lead over Rico, who comes out a little early. He's in the high grass. Cam is a little to the right. Again, he is currently tied for third with Ron. Those 3s around the horn for all the open players on the first hole. There's a nice looking shot. A little short, but he'll have that birdie attempt. This is a long hole for the women to try to reach. They're going to want to play for 3, and Juliana is on the right side of the fairway in the rough there. Beautiful rip by Des. And comes out just in the rough cut. Leslie. High and a little wide. And finds the rough. Going to be a tricky upshot from over there. Juliana will go first. That should be a makeable putt for her. Leslie with some branches to contend with. Has a good line, a little bit short. She'll be looking at that for her 3. Here's Des' second shot. She should be able to clean that up. Wow, look at that shot. This is Stevie for 2. This could keep him within a stroke of Barry, who's basically got a tap in here. He lays up. He'll take a 3. Cam will take a 3. This is Leslie for par. Just off the top. Ron for birdie. Does not stay. Juliana takes the lone 3 among the women. And there's and Barry dinks the what was basically a gimme putt there. And Des gets spit out as well. Hole number 3 is an island hole. I don't have a good look at the island there, but you can see PDGA board member Terry Calhoun giving us the high sign. It is OB all around the basket. That one's safe. Stevie's on the island. Cam goes for the big wide hyzer. He's on the island. Can't really see the OB from this angle, but basically if you make the island, you're going to have a makeable putt. Ron's got nice touch on that one. He's right there. Those are going to be tap-in 2s for all the guys. Juliana, that's not quite wide enough. She will have to re-tee. Des with the hook thumber. Didn't make it. Leslie goes for the big hyzer. Little short. This is Juliana now shooting 3. And she gets through the tree and slides out. She's going to have to re-tee again. Second try for Des. That looks nice. And it's good. Leslie now shooting 3 off the tee. That needs to come in a little bit. She got it. Juliana now shooting 5.
Please don't hit that.
Wow. She needs to get off that spot. I don't know if she's taking a little bit off of it to get the right distance or just not aiming wide enough. She is now shooting 7 off the tee. It's wide enough. It needs to come in. She got it, and the crowd goes crazy. So, 2's around for the guys, 4 for Des and Leslie, 8 for Juliana. Now to hole number 4. Real tricky shot through the trees. You see a variety of different ways to try to get there. And again, it's a good pump for the women. Juliana goes with the low route, but turns it over a little bit. Barry goes with the deep route, flirting with the trees on the right side, and he's going to have a birdie putt from there. Stevie still 1 stroke back. Short and wide. Well, we have some VIPs in the gallery. That looks nice. That'll be a putt. And again, it's tough to find an alley on this hole. See a lot of different attempts, none of them particularly successful. Second shot for Leslie is right there. Going into this hole, Juliana was at 10 over, Des was at 19 over, and Leslie at 21 over. Here's a birdie run for Stevie. He's actually a little short there. Ron takes a run. Ooh, almost got it. Des for 2. Not quite. And Barry. That would have given him another stroke cushion, but not going to go. And Cam unable to convert. This is Stevie. He needs this for his par. And he cans it. That was a good one. He needed that to keep it tight. It's going to be 3s around the horn for all 7 players on hole number 4 as Des taps in. And let's move on to hole number 5. Once again, a hole really that the women aren't going to have a good shot to reach, even with the power of Des. Leslie goes for the roller. This is a pretty tight fairway. And she managed to keep it out of the tall grass the whole way, but still not enough distance to have a birdie opportunity there. Juliana's going to go down the left side of the fairway, again nursing now a 9-stroke lead. Here's Barry. Oh, he is so good at that low, flat power shot, and he's going to have a birdie run here. Stevie needing to stay with Barry and hoping to pick one up at some point, just off the fringe. He'll have that first shot. There's a nice looking shot by Cam. That's going to fade right back in. And I think we can say that's within his range. Ron with a similar looking shot. That's going to come in nice. Pretty much guaranteed birdie for Ron. There's another great looking crowd here as the National Tour progresses throughout the year. This is the inaugural year for the 12 event series that culminates in the World Championships. Here's Stevie for birdie and a chance to tie. And Barry for, oh, right off the rim. Fortunately, didn't get too bad a roll. Ron converts his birdie. And Cam converts his birdie. Threes around for the ladies. Let's go now to hole number 6. That was the Stevie's putt for bird. Leslie for par is just out of the chain. She'll take a 4. Barry, short again. Cam will take a 2. Ron will take a 2. So that's back-to-back birdies for Cam and Ron. Hole number 7 now. That is Leslie with the birdie. Stevie to tie. And he got it. That puts him at 20 under. He is at 20 under. Barry is 20 under. Cam now 2 strokes behind them. Ron 3 back. Hole number 8. Starting to look a little familiar here. The women again looking to play for 3. You can see that the hole is wide open down the middle for the most part. Rough on the edges, and you can see how the grass is cut. Nice high rough on either end, and it looks like ooh, Cam has found the deep stuff. This is Stevie, who has just pulled into a tie. He's got the gun for this hole. Ron goes to the roller. That's going to turn over a little early. And here's Barry. Oh, that needs to come back, and it is not going to. He's found rough. He's going to need to get up and down from there to keep this match tied. Very nice up shot from Leslie. Ditto for Juliana. And Des even closer. Second shot for Barry. Not a problem. Ron from the fringe takes a run and goes over the top. This is Stevie now for the lead. He played it safe on that one. I don't think we blame him. Ron. Oh. Can tell by the look on his face that didn't happen. He'll take a 4. 3s for everybody else. Now to the tee on 9. This is basically a 3-shot hole. We're showing you Ron's drive. Let's go down to the fairway now. This is a second shot for Leslie with the roller on the edge of the trees. Second shot for Juliana. Juliana has a 10-stroke lead, so she's not worried about anything going wrong on this hole. Cam is now 2 strokes ahead of Ron in the race for 3rd. And that is a beautiful roller. Sidewalk is inbounds on this hole, nothing to worry about there. Now Barry. It's going to take 2 huge shots to have a putt for a 3 on this hole. If Barry or Stevie can pull that off, could be enough to take home the title. Look at that arm speed. Man, he got a hold of that. And he's actually going to have a shot for a 3 there to take this thing. Off the road, you can see the temporary basket on the slab green there. Here's Barry. This is his 3rd shot. And he should have an easy 4. Cam leaves himself an easy 4. That'll sew up 3rd place. Ron might as well take a run at it. Oh my. That went well by. And this is Stevie for the win. No, got the base. Fortunately, sat down. Leslie not quite there. Ron with the comeback after the big long miss. He'll take a 4 and finish in 4th place. Des with a solid finish. She will take a 5 and finish in 2nd. Juliana for a 4. Just a little low. She'll take a 5. Cam takes a 4. Now remember, Barry missed one this short earlier, but he's not going to do that again. So Barry and Stevie will be heading for overtime. A 5 for Leslie in 3rd place. And tap-ins for Stevie, who's heading to overtime, and to Juliana Corver, who is our 2003 Discraft Great Lakes Open champion. Now to the first hole of the playoff. Stevie for birdie. Little to his left. Barry. His chance to win. Puts it right up by the basket. 3s around the horn here. That was a big one for Stevie. That pushes it to hole number 2, which you may remember, this is the hole where Barry missed the short putt. Ooh, and Stevie has found trouble. Let's see if lightning can strike twice for Barry here. That's another good-looking drive. A little higher this time. And coming in. I don't think he's going to miss that one. So as the gallery comes down on what could be the final hole, Stevie needs this to keep things going. Ooh, and that was off. And he misses his putt. He's going to take a 4. This is Barry for a 2, and the win. And there it is. Barry Schultz takes the title in sudden death. 2 holes over Stevie Rico. Another exciting finish for the PDGA National Tour. Here from Ann Arbor, this has been the Discraft Great Lakes Open.
Innova, #1 in disc golf for the 20th year in a row. These are the 2003 Innova champions. World champion, Barry Schultz. Women's world champion, Juliana Corver. Master world champion, Brad Hammock. Grandmaster world champion, David Greenwell. Senior Grandmaster world champion, Peter Shive. United States champion, Barry Schultz. United States women's champion, Des Redding. World distance record holder, Christian Sandstrom. More world champions have chosen Innova than all other brands combined. What's your choice?
National Tour stop number 8, the Brent Hambrick Memorial Open from Columbus, Ohio. This year's event took place June 27th, 28th, and 29th. Final 9 on a beautiful summer Sunday. And going into the final 9, four-time world champion Juliana Korver, who has 4 National Tour victories this year, comes into it at 7 over par. Tied with Juliana, current world champion Des Redding, who has no Tour victory so far this year. And at 12 over par, 5-time world champ Elaine King, who has 2 National Tour victories so far this year. On hole number 1, Juliana found a little trouble, but was able to get a sidearm out. Des found trouble short of the basket, was able to get her approach shot within putting range, but this putt was low and she would lose a stroke to Juliana after 1. On hole number 2, chance for the ladies to air one out, and Juliana's drive was straight and true, much to the appreciation of the gallery. Apparently this one was even worth a hug. Elaine threw hard but low, and Des threw hard, turned it over a little bit, caught the side of the dam, but it kicked her back toward the basket. On her second shot, Des's line was good, the distance was good, but she got a big skip. Juliana played the shot low and stayed about 12 feet. Des's putt for par was off again, and she would now be 2 strokes behind Juliana. Elaine was off with her putt. She takes a bogey. On now to famous hole number 3, off the dam. Juliana puts one out there over the crowd. Elaine, nice and straight. Hoping the crowd would move. Not quite long enough for that. Des decides to take her own route out over the trees. With this second shot, Elaine would put herself within 20 of the basket and take the only par on the hole. Des struggled through the woods, and she would take a 5. With Juliana taking a bogey, Des loses yet another stroke. This is Elaine now for 2. On hole number 4, almost puts it in. Des finds trouble and takes her second consecutive double bogey, giving Elaine this putt to tie Des for second. Not quite going to happen. So after 4 holes, Des has lost 4 strokes. She's now 4 behind Juliana and just 1 ahead of Elaine for second place. On hole number 5, all 3 ladies put in their birdie putts. And on 6, Elaine turned her drive over a little bit too much, got behind the trees. Juliana played it away from the trees but hyzered out. And Des put this one up high. It opened the parachute and dropped down right by the pin. Elaine coming back through the trees on her approach, get herself within par range. And Juliana decides to play up and take the safe par. Des gets the solo birdie on hole number 6. On hole number 7, Juliana, this is her 3rd shot on the very long 600-plus foot number 7. Des, this is her 4th shot. She'll take a 5. This is Elaine's 4th shot. She'll take a 5. Juliana picks up another stroke. On hole number 8, another good opportunity for the women to air one out. This is a 2-tiered affair. Des able to get her drive up and safe out into the open, leaving a reasonably short second shot. Elaine played tighter to the trees without quite as much distance, but left her in good position. Des's approach shot was low and a little bit short. Juliana's approach was a little bit long. A little too long to make that comebacker. This now is Elaine for her 3. And she hits it. The only par on hole number 8 for Elaine King. As Des, once again, a little bit low off the basket. On hole number 9, another long affair. Des's approach, a little low, a little bit short and right of the basket. Juliana skips by a little bit. This is Des for her 3. Just a little bit low. That gives Elaine this putt to tie for second place. Also a little bit low, and Juliana figures, yeah, low sounds good. But she will take the victory. Her 5th National Tour victory of the year.
And I have Steve Rico at the top of the card shooting a 177.
Stevie Rico, winner of the Golden State Classic, comes in at 21 under par. He had the hot first round with a 43.
Brian Schweberger shooting 178.
Brian Schweberger is 1 stroke back at 20 under. He has 2 top 10 finishes on the tour this year, looking for that breakthrough win.
Steve Brinster's tied with a 178.
Steve Brinster also at 20 under, 4 top 10 finishes this year, and hoping this weekend he'll break out.
And Bomba Rico with a 180.
Bomba Rico, we saw him earlier this year caddying for brother Steve, but now he's here at 18 under and ready to play. On hole 1, Brinster found trouble and bogeyed. Schweberger's par putt off the rim. Bomba gets the solo birdie on hole number 1, and he now is tied with Brinster for 3rd place. With the honors on hole number 2, Bomba puts out the big crush. And that's pinned, and the gallery enjoys it. Little brother Stevie brings out the big gun. Keeps it low and flat. It's going to fade in and skip to within 12 feet. Just a little outside of Bomba. Stevie birdies. Bomba birdies. And now he's at 20 under, tied with Schweberger for 2nd place. But on hole number 4, the streak would end. Bomba bogeys. Brinster will par. Schweberger par, and a par for Stevie. On now to hole number 4, Schweberger keeps the tee clean, but he will take the lone bogey on the hole, and we have a 3-way tie for 2nd place. Stevie Rico has 3 strokes on the field. Hole number 5, Stevie Rico and Schweberger birdie, Brinster par, Bomba bogey, but comes back strong on hole number 6 with the near ace. More fun for the gallery, and on to hole number 7, a chance for the big arms to put it out there, and the gallery is loving this.
Not that
Did it come out?
Wow. Yeah, dog.
Hole 7 so long it takes 2 big boomers just to have a shot at a 3. Will anybody be able to get the 3 on this hole? Stevie for 3. No. Schweberger for 3. So close. Brinster for 3. Just wide. And Bomba for 3. No. On now to hole number 8. Up onto the upper deck for Brinster, a hole that should be an easy 3 for these guys. He's within 150 feet, but his upshot is short. He will take the lone bogey on the hole. As we go to number 9, the second shot for Schweberger. Gets a big skip. He is long in the ditch. Bomba goes to the big hyzer. He is long and in the ditch. Brinster goes to school and lays it up right by the basket. Schwebiger misses. Bamba to tie for third, and it's good. Bombarico will tie for third with Brinster. Schwebiger finishes in second place. And our champion this weekend, notching victory number 2, the 24-year-old from Sylmar, California, Stevie Rico.
PDGA, where the players play. PDGAstore.com. Visit us online where you'll find the gear you need to bring your game to the next level. Disc bags, shirts and caps, action videos, and more. Get it from the source. Buy your disc golf gear where the players play.
Buy PDGA gear at PDGAstore.com. That's PDGAstore.com.
Minnesota Majestic is one of the oldest tournaments in all of disc golf, so it was a natural fit for the national tour. It was stop number 10. And in the women's division, Ruth Steele had her struggles during the first 3 rounds, but she was geared up for the final Safari 9, where her distance and ability to scramble came in handy. She had the only par on hole number 1 and the only par on the 700-foot uphill second hole, where she strung together that strong drive and this mighty second shot. And a tricky uphill putt. The only 3 on that hole. Sure, she had her struggles at times, but Ruth had a very impressive final 9, scoring 35 over the final 9 holes. That was 7 strokes better than Des Redding and 8 strokes better than Leslie Herndon. Here she makes a putt for 5 on hole number 6, and look at the confident putt on hole number 7. She had the only 4 on hole number 8. And here's the big crush across the water on hole number 9. Ruth Steele gained a lot of confidence this week in Minnesota. Leslie Herndon had a very strong second round at Kaposia, unable to make up ground on the leader, Des Redding, who had the strongest first round, and Leslie found some trouble at times during the final 9. But overall, she showed the strength and consistency that has made her a featured player every week on the national tour. Leslie would finish at 33 over par, a solid second place finish. Coming off a win at the Mad City Open the previous week, Des Redding was not going to be stopped here in the Twin Cities. Her driving was strong, and she was showing the kind of play that she would need to gear up for defense of her world title. Long shots that hit the fairway, a solid short game, the ability to scramble out of trouble, and for the second consecutive week, Des Redding would come out on top on the national tour. The men have a very tight race going. Ron Russell is at 18 under, 1 stroke ahead of Barry Schultz and Dave Feldberg. Stevie Rico is 4 behind. Hole number 1, 430 feet downhill to a blind and very tight opening, which Russell finds. But the valley roll kicks him back downhill. That'll give Barry Schultz an opportunity, but he plays it well tight, and he's going to be deep in the woods. Dave Feldberg hasn't been touring as much this year, but he's had solid play wherever he's gone, and that is going to be on the fringe. And Stevie Rico is having a great year. That surprises nobody. This is a good-looking shot. Bisects the middle of the gap, and that shot is just about perfect. Great looking gallery here on a warm July Sunday afternoon, and Barry trying to get out of the woods only makes matters worse. Feldberg able to straddle and throw the sidearm up by the pin. Ron threads the needle and gets himself back uphill, and this is Barry's putt for par. Not much chance that that was going to get through. Barry takes a 4. Feldberg and Russell take 3s, and a birdie for Stevie Rico on hole number 2. 700 feet uphill. Russell with a great second shot. Rico gets himself in trouble and needs to make this tough putt to save bogey, but he does. Bogey's also for Feldberg and Schultz. That allows Russell to increase his lead to 2 throws over Feldberg. Hole number 3, 685 feet. Well downhill with the lake on the right. Stevie with the big crush. Going to put himself on the hillside in the tall grass. Feldberg plays well away from the water.
That's it.
And he's going to be almost halfway up the hill. Barry, who opened this round, bogey with a big crush. And he hits the fairway. He may even have a shot at a birdie here. Second shot for Dave Feldberg. This is a moderately tight gap to get to the pin. No problem for Dave. Ron, who looks like he put his drive on the short tee pad here, puts himself in gimme range. Stevie, that's a little wide, needs to come back. Allen nestles down short. Barry now. He could stand to get a little break and put one in here. Not gonna happen. Uphill now. Stevie. Boom. Saves his par. And Barry. Oh, he's a little bit off. Looks like someone may have been moving back there behind the basket. Just couldn't get enough chain on that. So Ron Russell has 2 strokes on Feldberg, who has 2 strokes now on Rico and Schultz. Hole number 4, the same tee that we saw for hole number 1. But this time it's going to be a long dogleg, hard to the right. Ron is just in the fringe. You can see how nicely trimmed the fairway is there. It looks like Stevie's going to hit it. Oh, actually gets the sidewalk and takes a skip. Makes a spectator do a little dance there to get through. Feldberg gets this one turned over, but that is where you want to be on this hole. He's going to cut off probably 70, 80 feet, and I think he's in the short grass. Barry really struggling Oh, he got that too high. It's going to stall out. And he is back in the woods. No chance of reaching this one on his second shot. He just wants to get it back out in play and get a little bit of distance on it. And he finds the only little scraggly tree out there. Second shot for Ron again. Fairly small gap to get at this green, and he hits the gravel pile. It's a nice kick out. Stevie off the path. It's got a chance, but it comes out a little early. He's going to have to putt through the trees. Feldberg on a similar line. He's going to wind up left as well. Barry now just trying to get back in business here. This is Stevie. He's going to have to make a field goal here. And he gets through the trees, but he's low. He will take a 4. Feldberg hits chains, but he'll take a 4. Russell off the basket and out. He'll take a 4. Barry low, and he will take a 6. Hole number 5. 320 feet. Stevie bags the birdie. Barry will take a par. Russell airballs his birdie putt and misses the comebacker. That means that Feldberg can make this birdie putt and tie the match. He and Russell both 16 under now. After 5 holes, Stevie lurking 2 strokes back, and Barry now well out of contention. Hole number 6, 840 feet, steeply uphill. Stevie's second shot, he'll be on the hillside with about 200 to go. This is Ron's third shot. Up by the 3 big trees on the green. Barry actually plays this on the direct route, has a great upside down shot to the top of the hill. And Feldberg trying to find a gap. Stevie now, strong second shot uphill, but he hits a tree and falls about 40 short. Feldberg cannot convert. Stevie. Yes! He'll take a 4. Russell takes a 4. Feldberg and Barry will take 5s as Barry misses the short one. Hole number 7, big downhill, blind, 520 feet. A good opportunity for the gallery to get in a little hiking. Stevie actually overdrove the hole. He's the only one with a birdie shot here. And he's just a little off. 3s for Ron Feldberg and Stevie. 5 for Barry and Ron now with 1 on Feldberg and 2 on Rico. Hole number 8. 700 feet. But very uphill on the way to the basket. Even 2 great drives probably aren't going to reach this one, but that is a great drive by Rico. Russell hits the fairway as well. That little skip puts him just behind a pine tree. Feldberg, great power, turns it over toward the lake, but coming back. Good distance, but he's in the tall grass. And a similar line for Barry. That needs to come back. And it does. He's just about in the same spot. Barry's second shot up following the slope of the hill. In the tall grass once again. Ron has no choice but to throw the big hyzer. And keeps it in play. Feldberg looking to close the gap. Strong again, but that's going up the hill. And he's going to be in trouble. Stevie's second shot, low and smoking hard. He finds himself a little bit of trouble as well. Feldberg now having to scramble. Oh, that's a great shot. Barry goes to the spike hyzer. Uses the backboard to stay close, and now Feldberg. Putt is through the chains. That's going to cost him another stroke, and Rico makes his 4. Feldberg and Rico now tied at 12 under for second place. And going into hole 9, 1,040 feet. Ron with 2 strokes to play with. Plays well short of the water, plays safe, but it fades out hard, and he's going to be on the hillside in the rough. Feldberg and Rico both know they're going to have to get a 3 on this hole just to have a chance. And Dave can't do much better than that. Barry takes his own route down the street, around the phone pole, but turns it over nicely. Good result. Russell, that is not what he was looking for. He's going to be scrambling now with 2-stroke lead, and Feldberg has got the big bomb working. Yeah. He'll have at least a run at a 3. And Barry. Moral victory at this point, just to keep it in play. Stevie's got to put everything he's got on this. He keeps it low, but it sneaks through, and he'll have a look. Ron threads the needle, boy, he needed that. And he is right down the middle of the fairway, just about 60 feet short. Rico now needs to take a run. It looks good. Wow, great shot by Stevie. Feldberg's turn. A little bit short. Looks like those guys are going to be just a little too late, because Russell's going to lay it up. Barry finishes a disappointing round, but Ron Russell with his second tour victory of the year, worth $1,670, he wins the Minnesota Majestic. With 10 out of 12 National Tour events complete, Barry Schultz has the points lead. Steve Rico is in second, followed by Ron Russell, Ken Climo, and Walter Haney. In the women's division, Juliana Korver has a perfect 500 points, followed by Des Redding, Leslie Herndon, Elaine King, and Carrie Berlager. The Kansas City Wide Open was the 11th stop on the inaugural national tour. Waterworks Park, Swope Park, which is where we are for the finals. We had a tie for 4th place, but Carlo Pelg prevailed over Brad Hammock. So we'll be watching Carlo in the final 9, along with the other top 3 men and the top 3 women, led by Juliana Korver. She is at 27 over par. She has a 1-stroke lead on Ruth Steele. Leslie Herndon is 2 strokes behind. You can see the wind blowing here. Players also having to deal with OB rope on the left and 2 out-of-bounds lakes, and Ruth finds the OB. Here now is Leslie. She stays in bounds. Cam Todd leads the Open division at 11 under. Nate Doss is at 10 under. Stevie Rico at 7, and Carlo Pelg is 4. This is Nate, young sensation from California who actually grew up in Kansas City, so he's going to be a big crowd favorite today. Currently in 3rd place, Stevie Rico is low and down the middle, clears the OB Lake. See the rocks there, those define the artificial OB lakes on this hole. There's also OB rope on our right, the player's left side of the fairway, and Carlo manages to avoid the OB. Second shot for Leslie here is right up by the pin. on a 98-degree day in the shade with high humidity, near record temperatures here in Kansas City in late July, as Juliana's upshot is good. Nate, a little bit short. This is now Ruth's third shot after going out of bounds. And she's up on the green. Rico for 2 is a little bit high. Leslie is in for her 3. Ruth will take a 4 on the first hole. She looking to lose a stroke to Juliana. If Juliana can make this putt, and she does for her par. Nate is short. Maybe you heard the ice cream truck there. That's going to be a disappointing start for him on the first hole. Hole number 2, about 350 feet down across the valley. And Juliana, whose lead is now 2. Leslie also safe and almost pin high. See that yellow rope coming into play again here on the left side of the fairway. Ruth's got the big gun. She's going to have several opportunities to use it this afternoon. Good looking shot by Cam on a hole that the Open players will definitely be looking to birdie. Here's Stevie Rico, who is under the tree, skipped short of the basket, and he'll be looking at a birdie putt from the backside.
Hook up.
Carlo plays safe. Well, a little bit of tree on the right, but he'll have that putt for a birdie.
Skip up.
And Nate takes the low route. Gets a little skip, and he'll be looking at a birdie putt as well. Leslie is just off the basket. Juliana plays short. Carlo gets a little nick. Nate off the flag. But Cam Todd is in for a birdie, and that will stretch his lead now to 3 strokes over Nate Dawson, second place. On to hole number 3, where Juliana hits a tree and she is OB. Leslie turns it over. And she is OB. Ruth Steele from the UK, now living in San Francisco. She is low and strong and puts herself about 22 feet from the pin. Here's Cam, the Open players, going from the same tee as the women. He's on the green as well. Can see a little breeze in the fluttering of the shirt as Stevie turns it over a little bit. And he is OB. Nice rip by Carlo Pelg, also from California. Inbounds and looking at a possible birdie. And Nate Doss, strong and smooth, turning it over with a little bit of flex. He'll be looking at a birdie as well. This is the second shot now for Juliana. Little bit short, but makeable. After going OB, that's Stevie's third shot. Leslie's second shot actually hit a tree. So this is her 4th shot. And she's within 12. Carlo off the top. He's going to take a par. Nate unable to convert. Cam unable to convert. But Ruth hears the call and drains the birdie. She gets the only 2 on this hole after having the best drive out of the entire group of 7. This is Juliana for 4, and she airballs. Leslie will take a 5. Juliana takes a 5, and Ruth Steele picks up 3 strokes on hole number 3. She goes from 2 strokes down to 1 stroke ahead. Hole number 4 now is over 600 feet. Good drive, gets up to the rim as Nate had a good drive. That was his second shot. This is Juliana's 4th shot. She had some struggles getting up the fairway, and she's a little short once again. 3rd shot for Leslie. Down by the basket. 3rd shot for Ruth. Unable to get around the tree. This will be now her 4th shot. She gives it a run, but can't convert. This is Juliana for 5. Not going to go. Juliana's going to take a 6 on this hole. Cam Todd takes a 3. Leslie takes a 4. That'll be the best score among the women. Nate taps in for his 3. Stevie and Carlo both had 4, but Ruth picks up another stroke. But she may be giving one back because that is OB on hole number 5. Juliana, who has lost her lead and fallen behind by 2, puts it right down the middle of the fairway. Got an OB fence on the left side of this hole. Cam is well away from that. And he's looking at a potential birdie. Nate Doss, very strong, little tight to the tree, but he pushes through it. And he'll be looking at a short birdie putt. Leslie will have an easy 3.
Nice shot.
Juliana will have an easy 3. Cam cannot convert. Nor can Ruth. She'll take a 4. Stevie is a little bit left. Nate for the birdie is a little bit left. That was a good opportunity for him. Leslie will finish up with the 3 on this hole, so Ruth loses a stroke, and in the wide open women's race, she now has a 1-stroke lead on the field. On to hole number 6. Good looking drive by Juliana, pin high. Ruth catches a little bit of wind, and she's going to be off to her left. Same with Cam. There's a low branch on the player's right side of the tree, right about there. Nate just caught a little bit of it. A good shot will go underneath that branch and slide up to the basket. Stevie plays it to the left. But Carlo is low and strong under the branch and right past the basket. Ruth gets a little bit of a roll. That's not what she was looking for. Leslie is going to wind up with a 3. Cam is going to wind up with a 3. Stevie from downtown, he'll take a 2 here on hole number 6. And Nate from short distance, once again, unable to put it home. That was another good opportunity for him. He's going to take a par. Ruth is going to take a bogey. And that is going to be painful as Juliana birdies. She picks up 2 strokes and she retakes the lead. 1 stroke ahead of Ruth and Leslie. Carlo with the birdie. And on to the second shots now from hole number 7 from the bottom of the valley. Great looking shot by Nate, pin high just to the left. Tournament director Rick Rothstein calls Cam Todd OB, so this is now his 3rd shot. And the crowd is happy with that. 3rd shot for Leslie. Caught a bit of that tree. That's the 2nd shot for Stevie. He's going to have a drop in 3. Ruth is a little wide, but she's in putting range. Carlo will wind up with a 3. Juliana will take a 4. This is Leslie for 3. She's going to take a 4. And Nate. He was due to make one of those. He'll take a 3, and with Cam's OB stroke, Nate will pick up a stroke. Ruth will pick up a stroke. The women's race is now tied. And Nate Doss, who has missed 2 short putts, is still within 2 strokes of Cam Todd for the lead in the Open. And with 2 strokes to go, nobody on the tee looking especially relaxed. Juliana. Right down the middle. She definitely has the edge and experience going down the home stretch here. This is a long hole for the women. 3 will be a good score on this hole as they hope to get down to the bottom of the valley and then up. But that one is out of bounds, and that's going to make life very tough for Leslie Herndon. Nice looking shot by Carlo Peld. Low enough to get under the ceiling with enough steam to get to the side of the hill.
Get in the hole! Go, go,
And
go.
Nate Doss even more so. He's going to have a birdie opportunity on this hole. Puts a little pressure on former world champion Cam Todd. And that is not what he was looking for. He seems to be a little bit perturbed that someone was talking to his disc. And as Leslie comes inbounds, Cam's second shot actually was long. He went out of bounds behind the basket. So Cam is going to have about a 20-foot putt for a 4 on this hole. That means that Nate Doss, with a long birdie putt, is going to have an opportunity to tie this match. Stevie is up for his 3. Juliana has been short several times this afternoon, and this is not the time to go long. She is out of bounds behind the basket. Now here's Nate with a chance to tie.
Go ahead. Get it.
Oh, off the rim. And it rolls out of bounds. Brutal break for Nate Doss. Ruth gives it a shot. There's Cam for his 4. Nate takes a heartbreaking 4. Juliana takes a 4. So the women's race still tied and still very close, and Nate Doss still hanging in there, 2 strokes down. Ruth has the honors. And she is safe.
Get out. Ooh.
Juliana is safe. And so is Leslie. Nice drive. See, once again on this hole, 2 OB Lakes right down the middle. Stevie with the big gun. Ooh, bad break, and he is in the lake. Carlo with the low line drive on the frozen rope. He's up with the putting opportunity. Nate has to get this hole to even have a prayer here. And he's going to give himself a chance. He'll have that for a birdie. And Cam just needs a 3 to get out of here. Cuts it close, but manages to stay in bounds. Great job this week by the Kansas City Disc Golf Club, as always, and they will have no break because in a day or 2 they're going straight into Am Worlds. Juliana needs the 3 here to keep things going. She'll be able to make that. Ruth for the win. Under the basket, so it looks like the women will be going into overtime. Carlo can't quite run it home, so he's going to take a 3, and Nate, that's tough Tough afternoon for Nate on the putting green, but a lot of appreciation from the crowd, and we know we're going to see a lot of great things from this guy. Solid play by Leslie. She will finish in third. Juliana takes her par. Carlo flips one in over the rim. He will finish in fourth place. And there's our champion from the 2003 Kansas City Wide Open, Cam Todd. Finished with a 2-stroke victory over Nate Doss, 4 strokes over Stevie Rico in third, and 7 strokes over Carlo Pell. Officials are going to double check the scores, and it is as we thought. Sudden death overtime for the women. Back to hole number 1. OB on the left side, 2 OB Lakes. And Juliana is OB. That opens the door for Ruth. That's a little tight, and she is OB as well. Juliana's third shot. Short again. She left herself an uphill putt. Ruth. That would have done it right there. With the OB stroke, she's going to take a 4. So Juliana needs this now just to keep the sudden death going. Not today, and that means, assuming she's able to make her short putts, as Juliana, not quite what she was looking for on this hole, and let's make it official now. Ruth Steele with her first National Tour victory in sudden death over Juliana Korver. The top women's player from the UK, now living in San Francisco. You can see how happy she is on this sweltering 98-degree day. That ought to give you some idea right there how hot it is. And another fine event in Kansas City. This will be the last National Tour event before the World Championships, as Ruth Steele and Cam Todd take home the victories.
You guys are a model to what disc golf should be. This community is. Got to give it up to the Kansas City.
Of course, you always want to win a tournament, but I'm really proud of Ruth, and it's about time that she notched her first Super Tour. Or no, I'm sorry, she has a Super Tour before this, her first National Tour.
I'd like to thank the crowd. You guys were great today. You guys were great, very supporting.
Love playing here. My first time doing good here, and I won, so it's pretty awesome. But thanks, Discraft. You guys keep rocking. We'll see you.
This PDGA broadcast event brought to you by Alacrity Media. On time, on budget, on fire.